Tim Burton's horror return with Beetlejuice 2 is understandably exciting for fans, but behind the scenes, the movie promises to reignite a secret contest between Burton and another major filmmaker. Since 1985, The Batman, Alice in Wonderland, and Edward Scissorhands director has become a household name thanks to his signature gothic aesthetic and the enduring success of many of his movies. This makes any new Burton release big news. However, the fact that Beetlejuice 2 happens to coincide with another legacy sequel makes the movie potentially even more interesting. While Burton may be most revered for his involvement in celebrated cult classics like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and the original Beetlejuice movie, his numbers are truly staggering. According to the numbers, the American-born director has generated a total of $4,420,589,767 worldwide from 20 movies, making him the 11th most lucrative director of all time. Remarkably, this impressive statistic puts him barely behind the man in 10th place, who also happens to be releasing a legacy sequel in 2024. The comparative closeness of the two directors and the promise of two follow-ups to iconic movies add a genuine sense of jeopardy to the 2024 box office race. Tim Burton's Beetlejuice 2 and Ridley Scott's Gladiator 2 both release in fall 2024 after long sequel delays. This collage shows Delia, Beetlejuice, and Jenna Ortega's unnamed character, which all have a green overlay with a purple outline in Beetlejuice. After unforeseen delays, Beetlejuice 2 will have to share the limelight with another huge legacy sequel in the form of Ridley Scott's Gladiator 2. While the films will not share much of an overlap, with Beetlejuice 2 releasing in September and Gladiator 2 not arriving until November, the prestige of both Burton and Scott and the legacy of both franchises inevitably invite comparisons. Coupled with the length of time between the original movies and the follow-ups, 36 years in the case of Beetlejuice and 24 years for Gladiator, the calendar quirk that has brought the two together makes fall 2024 a box office event to rival the likes of Barbenheimer in 2023. Tim Burton's 2024 movie return can reclaim his box office status after Ridley Scott overtook him. Although neither Burton nor Scott have ever instigated direct competition with each other, or indicated that making as much money as possible is their primary objective when it comes to filmmaking, it's interesting to note just how comparable the pair's careers are. Despite only directing 20 movies to Scott's 31, Tim Burton remained ahead of the veteran Alien director for many years. Buoyed by the success of major releases like Alice in Wonderland, which made over $1 billion, Burton pulled ahead. This was cemented with the release of Dumbo in 2019, which, despite mixed reviews, made a further $350 million, edging him past Scott. However, thanks to a flurry of recent productivity, releasing 6 major projects since 2017, including Gladiator 2, Ridley Scott has come from behind. Since Dumbo, Scott projects Napoleon, The Last Duel, and House of Gucci have made millions at the box office, helping the 86-year-old break into the top 10 of all-time most financially successful directors. By contrast, Burton has been without a major release since 2019, making his 2024 even more exciting. Far more significant than the contest between the two men, it will be interesting to see whether, after a 5-year absence, Burton and his signature style remain a box office draw. What box office Beetlejuice 2 needs for Tim Burton to beat Ridley Scott again? Collage of Otho, Beetlejuice, and Barbara in Tim Burton's 1988 movie Beetlejuice. Given the number of movies involved and the length of both men's careers, it's remarkable how close the box office race between Burton and Scott actually is. At the time of writing, Burton's movies have made a total of $4,420,589,767 worldwide. Ridley Scott's, meanwhile, stand at $4,568,507,696. This means that Beetlejuice 2 will need to make $147,917,929 more than Gladiator 2 for Burton to take back the lead. On the surface, this seems like quite an obstacle. Nevertheless, despite the current state of play, the chances are good that Tim Burton's Beetlejuice 2 really can help him overhaul Scott. For one thing, Burton's average box office per movie is significantly better than Scott's, suggesting that if precedent is anything to go by, he will indeed retake the number 10 position. Additionally, even though the original Gladiator was a bigger movie on release, Beetlejuice has accrued a dedicated fanbase over the years, even inspiring a stage musical and spin-off TV series. As such, Beetlejuice 2 is well placed to capitalize on an eager audience and could well help Burton win this secret box office battle.